Now you say.
Now, yeah, a minute ago, a second ago,
Oh,
3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds now. What?
I feel
Yeah,
like
we're
you're
live.
counting. So there's no fancy math there. You're just counting. You're looking at a screen. I mean, you're just looking at a screen. It's not, you know, it's not give Stuart credit. He didn't do anything.
I never do.
Oh. I mean, no, you counted 1 to 10 based on pictures I gave you. That's something. Don't worry. You do stuff.
I have 10 fingers. That helped. Anyway, guys, welcome back. It's the top 10 day, and it's Admirals Day, I guess.
All hail to admirals in the chat. We may or may not have a couple. Ha 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 ha. And third. This is our third in a row of the top tens. We did the main staff uniform, then we did the spacesuits, and now we're doing admirals uniforms. And this one is one that's a little bit tricky because there are so many, and yet they're so one-off. And I'm guaranteed I've forgotten at least one. I think I did pretty good get most of them, and
Yeah,
certainly
I think so.
most of them. All the heavy hitters. I had plenty to choose from, and there'll be at least one more, if not maybe two more, as we go on. But this is the last like distinct subset one, because Admirals uniforms, a hell of a variety and a hell of a lot. So that's today.
Absolutely. These are always fun to do. I love seeing these uniforms, all the different kinds, because you never really realize how many there are until you get them in front of you. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this as well, as we kind of go through our ranking of them and see how many we have in common, if any.
And boy, putting them in order, a time order is like, yeah, does that make sense? No, not really.
No, that's a problem. Yeah.
But things do happen.
They do indeed. So yeah, hit that like button, guys. 27 of you here, 21 likes. That's great. But if you can hit that like button, if you haven't, that'd be fantastic. We have one super chat already, which is also great, but it's from Ozzy, which is awesome because he always super chats. So $5. All hail the Spirit Commander Robin and Super Captain Batman Foley, Federation President, Skeleton Hands. Okie dokie.
Now, should it be honorable? Is he an honorary admiral as well? I feel like he must be.
Oh, maybe.
I feel like if you're president, you get that by default.
Yeah, I would say so. You're okay. There you go.
So you get to
Federation
go
President Admiral Skeleton Hands.
So you get to go to all the parties of both the president's parties, which is just you and Olivia, and then there were parties. So one party is very exclusive.
And Mark is also a president.
That's true. I did forget. We have three wonderful ones.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I guess I'll start sharing.
Go for it.
Okay.
I'll talk about hitting the like button because it's important. And things.
Will.
Looks like this, guys. See? Thumbs up. Hit that like button. 26 likes, which is pretty good, but we can do better. And if you guys want to super chat, by all means, it's a good way to get your comment read, your question answered. It also shows your support for the channel. You can also make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That's a very big thing. If the subscribe button is red, that means you're not subscribed. So by all means, hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. Also, the bell notification icon to all would be awesome. And yeah. What else? Oh yeah, PayPal. If you want to send us PayPal, you can. The information is down in the link. There's a link and things in the description down below of every video. Just send it to trekyards@hotmail.com and let us know in the regular chat that you sent it, and we'll read your comment or question via the email for that. Help us on a monthly basis by joining the channel or by heading on over to Patreon/Trekyards. Can help us on a monthly basis as well, which is really important. So if you're able to do that, that would be great. That's a great way to show your support as well. And I probably cut out during that whole thing, but that's okay. I mean, I can only do what the internet allows me to do. So if I did, I apologize. But anyway, I am back now, kind of, I think, hopefully. So yeah, support anywhere you can. Also, there's the links down below in the description of every video for the Teespring store, the TeePublic store. We got some really great Trekyards merch that you guys will really enjoy, I think. So check out the Trekyards merch. Maybe pick yourself up some cool stuff. There's a lot of really great stuff that we have. So, yeah. Yeah, Ozzy, I see that. But anyway, yes. So please do that. And also, just if the easiest way is just to share our content. We really appreciate that as well. It all shows your support for the channel. So whatever you can do, please do. And hitting that like button is the easiest thing. With 44 of you here, I'm sure we can get up to 40 likes. We're at 36 right now, so that should be super, super easy. Barely an inconvenience, if you will. So please consider doing that. And yeah, looking forward to discussing some Admirals uniforms. Dun, dun, because there's been a lot, and there's been a lot of one-off ones. So, but they're all worth talking about because they tried to make them unique and different, and it's something that I think is an interesting topic. So there. So we'll just wait for Samuel to be done sharing here, and we'll get right into it. And thank you, Ozzy, for the super chat. That was great. Anybody else wants to, by all means, feel free. We'd really appreciate it. So, all right. Yeah. Admirals uniforms. There's so many, and as Samuel said, there's a bunch of one-offs. Like, they always try to change them and make them different. It's like they never really decided on anything, especially in TNG. So there's a lot to look at, and we've covered a lot of them before, and the differences that make them Admirals uniforms are quite unique as well. So I think this will be a fun one, actually. It'll be interesting to see where our lists fall compared to each other.
And there's certainly some of the more different uniforms in Trek. Some of them have a certain flow, but here are 3 examples, and there's very little to connect them. Just in the thumbnail. So it's interesting to see how varied they are. There's obviously some unifying, obviously for a certain period they were relatively unified, just varied. And so, yeah, this is purely aesthetics at this point. Which ones we just like the look of more, etc., etc. But obviously, since since they had Admirals uniforms in, because they didn't have any really in Discovery season 1 or 2, so it was really when we got into season 3 and Lower Decks. As you say, now we start looking at Admirals uniforms quite a bit in the Picard trailer. So now it's been like, ooh, Admirals uniforms, and I certainly didn't realize how many there were until we started looking at them, and now really getting the graphics, you're like, yep, there's some choice here.
Yeah, and some of them look better here than I remember them on the show, but I'm kind of going based on what I see here, honestly, because they really had like promise, and
Well, I mean, the uniform that the black guy wore and the receptionist guy in Picard, poorly fitted, didn't look as good on him, whereas the poorly fitted looks better. So these are good generic graphics for the most part to kind of service them best. Most of them are Fact Files based, some are fan based, and some I had to try and find one still from the show or TV with a sort of mid-full shot, and then I photoshopped out their head and relit them, and they're pretty obvious which ones are which. But I think I did a reasonably decent job of finding the couple of stills.
Oh yeah,
at least to show that it'll be interesting.
I was pretty impressed.
Thank you.
Sean Corpier, $5. Hey guys, I hate with a passion the Insurrection Admiral uniform. It made him look fat.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, in fairness, it's just that era one, because they use that for DS9 multiple times and Voyagers. That is the standard one for quite a, that was the standard, and then Admiral Janeway as well. And she looked pretty thin in it, but yes, didn't necessarily suit him as much. Who wants to go first, Stuart?
I think I went first last time.
Okay.
So I think I'll let you go first this time.
Okay. My number 10 is the random Asian Admiral guy's one-time uniform. Otherwise known as 2365 uniform, which this is a shot of him standing next to Picard in the room. This is the best view of it. Now this is a mega one-off, only in 2 scenes. A Measure of Man, arguably one of his famous episodes of TNG. Thing is, you don't remember the scenes off or out of the trial, so this thing gets lost in time. It was actually found a couple of years ago by some guy that had it, and he posted some really good images of it. Couldn't find those briefly while I was looking, but I found a decent shot from the show.
Hold on a second. There we go.
That's weird. But in terms of creativity, this was season 2. They'd already introduced... Oh my god. Why are you exploding?
What do you mean?
Say so? My audio's coming through on your... Call me back, Stuart, because Skype's messed up. Oh my god. It's like a rocket ship. Oh, that was an experience, guys. Damn, that was... That was weird. Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you, I didn't swap to Premiere. There you go.
Is that better?
That was real weird. That was real weird.
What happened? I don't even know. Okay.
Tech monsters. But yeah, I mean, this one is pretty different. Pretty interesting. It looks good on him. It's creative. It's visually popping-ish. It's more TNG. It's more the TNG vibe than the later ones would be, with just the two-tone. But then the accoutrements work well, and yeah, it's a nice enough looking uniform.
Yeah, this one is a little... I don't like that it's a onesie, first of all. That's kind of... If it is, I mean, it does look like it. I kind of like the different kind of jacket styles that a lot of them have, but this one, wish you kind of would have seen more of. I don't know. This one just kind of doesn't really work for me. I don't know why, but just the other ones on the list, kind of stand out more to me than this one.
That's the thing. I think I gave us 15 options, and so this was, the least, beat those other 4. Yeah, because it fits very well into the era. If it is a onesie, which I don't think it is. I think it's something else, but I'm not quite sure. It just looks exactly like we expected Admiral's uniform to look like in that era. Very much like TNG, and this I can imagine being the this is the Admiral's uniform of the season 1, because it's got the stripe where the stripe is on the normal TNG. So this would be, because we know the Stargazer had the TNG outfits as the standard uniforms. This to me looks like a old Admiral's uniform that's been around for 15 years, and it fits very much into that art design.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
S1 Noir says a 3-pip Admiral, how rare. Actually, the more you watch, if you pay attention to their pips, there's 4-pip Admirals and 3-pip Admirals. So,
and Lower Decks introduced a 1-set pip Admiral.
Yeah.
Which is
there's
helpful.
Different Admiral rankings. So pay attention to that. There's actually quite a few 3-pip ones throughout the series. So.
And it's worth saying that for the most part, TNG, I believe we're at that point in TNG where we keep seeing female Admirals and they're all the same style. So there is a pretty much standard one, same with the grey one in the thumbnail. But early on they kept varieting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanushi puts in 10 euros.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. Just last night finished TNG, a final unity after starting it 25 years ago. It took place in season 7 and had an Admiral's tunic with a black bar on the front. I always liked that design. Well, we might have it here. I don't know. I remember playing a final unity quite a bit, but yeah, I never got super far into it. I just remember playing the first watching the animatics and stuff. But congrats for finishing it.
We really should. I mean, those ones. I mean, they're so classic. I mean, they're pointing
at the puzzle aspect. I can never figure out how to get out of the room and stuff.
Yeah, I played the TOS one. I couldn't get past the first room. The space bar did great in. It was very fun, but I couldn't get past the room, and then I had to restart and do the space battle again, which I loved. Because they're not obvious, okay? The solution's not obvious.
No, but there's walkthrough guides now, so I mean.
But that's not fun.
It is though. It is absolutely.
Okay. See, if only we knew like 100 of you would watch and we get sent on super chats, I would be great to do Let's Play series, but I don't think any of you would watch that. So it'd be fun, but oh well.
We could both one could be playing, the other one could be helping. Try this, try that. Sean though puts in $5. I don't know why, but it's wrong. So wrong. I think it's the stripes on the pants too. It's kind of an odd choice.
Wrath of Khan though.
But those are on the side of the pants. On the front, it just looks stupid. It makes them look like a bellhop.
It does.
Or something.
Like I said, it was my 10th favourite, but I think it fits very neatly into what it's trying to be, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's an interesting way to start off this live. So, Let's move on to my number 10.
Your
We?
least favorite -4.
5.
5.
Yes. My number 10 is the 2380 Lower Decks Admiral's uniform. These, I think, are a nice extension of... They got the gold stripe on them instead of the white, which is nice. The gold stripe is really a prevalent thing with the Admiral's uniforms, for sure. And also the epaulets on the shoulders, I really like that look. It kind of is a more official look, and I really think that a lot of the Admiral's uniforms would be much improved by having something similar, even if it's not a big bulky thing, just kind of some marking there. So I really do like this one, and other than that, it's not too much different at all than the rest of the standard uniforms. So yeah, that's why it's my number 10. I mean, it's something we saw recently. Hopefully we'll see again soon. And I think he was also, you said, a one pip admiral.
Yeah,
one guy. So,
which, given their attention to detail, I don't know. I don't know if that's to really take seriously as he actually is a one pip or not.
Yeah,
don't know.
So yeah, this one's just kind of there, sitting at number 10, going, hey, this is a good way to kick things off.
Well, that's the thing about a lot of low deck stuff. It's like it works. You know, especially when they design their own new uniform, it's like it works within the framework of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you hear that?
No.
I just heard a click on my end, and it was like exactly what happened before you've had that issue. So anyway, sorry.
All good. I know you would, Dan. I know you would. I mean, it's too altered. Like it's too modern military. It's not what Trek's ever done. The fact they've done it here, it's a cartoon. Bleh. Does its own thing. But I wouldn't want to see that carried over, personally.
Yeah.
My number 9, then.
Well, before we get to that, though, Sean says $5 and says, the last uniform reminded me something Lando in Star Wars would wear. He'd have a cape, though, attached to it, for sure. It does have that kind of General Calrissian look to it, for sure. All right, so you're number 9.
My number 9 is the TMP Admiral's uniform. While fine and more original than the other Admirals, and Shatner looks good in it. It's a white jacket with a stripe and a thing on the front. It's plain. Like, he looks good in it. But that does by itself not make it a good design. Whoever sketched it for TMP, they weren't exactly firing all cylinders, were they? They were going safe and simple and clean, which arguably is what TOS was, clean and simple. But it shouldn't win any awards for. And the only thing you can say about it is the best of that movie, but that's a very low bar. The bread on the turd sandwich was great. It's like, good. That's a good thank you. It's fine. I don't want to own one personally. I have no interest. But it's fine. Yeah, it's okay. It's not my 10th favourite. But at least it is unique in its own way.
Yeah, this is one I would like to own if I would fit in it and look good. That's the problem with this one. It's a little bit form-fitting, and if you don't have the shape, the way that is the white part is shaped, it wouldn't look good.
And you don't want to do the decker bulge.
Well, I'd have that going in abundance, but I mean, I got the bulge above it.
The double decker.
Be the double decker.
I was waiting on that to see if I could go into that.
That's good. You get super awesome, mega Trekyards points for that one.
That's for those well-endowed people who get a double decker.
Yes.
Captain Cisco would be a double decker in this.
Yeah. This one I always liked, just because it does look so clean and crisp. And yes, it is the standout from the uniforms, and it's probably one of the reasons I really like it. Plus, it looks fantastic on Shatner in that movie. But I do like the subtleness of it. You got the 4 Admiral stripes on the sleeve, and then the little epaulette things again, which
you don't notice in the film.
I don't know specifically if there's anything unique about them Admiral-wise, but I kind of like the look. So, yeah. I mean, this is up there.
You say sleek and simple. It's, clean, simple, but also sterile and 2001-y. It could be in any other show. It doesn't scream Star Trek at all. If it was as in the normal art design style, but again TMP was all about different. If it was in one of the primary colors, I know we could talk about redoing the TMP costumes in a more classic style. If that middle white was a red, blue, or gold, that might bring it back into, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. But I do appreciate the arm rank stripes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be higher on my list. I will say that.
I know. I'm expecting somewhere high. I was going to give it away there, but that would ruin the surprise.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it.
Dentist from the future.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Sean, though, $5. This looks better animated. The motion picture should be in anime.
It does look better like this.
Yeah.
At least
most of them do. Honestly.
Although I'd love to see this given the gold ribbing, the gold the gold rim treatment. Like how could you amp this up a little bit to kind of bring it slightly more in line with TNG style? I think you could do very limited bonuses to it to kind of amp it up. Even maybe like making the front white bit a pull out TMP style. Give it that cross section with the gold. Might give it a nice. Maybe even one shoulder.
Yeah. I was gonna say even just a gold stripe between the white and the gray.
Yeah,
like
that's the first thing.
Simple.
Yeah, but I think if you made it a wrap around with that line as well, might improve it as well potentially. There you go.
All right, so we're on to number 8 already.
Nope, you're number 9.
Oh, my number 9. Oh, god damn it.
My number 8. You're number 9. There's 2 of us, Stuart. It's a thing we do. We bounce off each other. We discuss. We talk. They watch us. It's a thing.
All right, my number 9 is the 2367 fake Admiral's uniform from Future Imperfect. I really like this one, actually. Now I'm looking at it and thinking should be a little bit higher on my list, but this is not a real uniform. I just watched this episode like last night, and I love this one. It's got a cool look with that black stripe, but still has the red on the shoulders, and then the Admiral's comm badge to top it off to help with the Admiralty. It's got the 4 stripes, but they're in silver instead of gold. Well, they're silver on gold because they're both there, and there's also a star inside the delta. I don't like how long it is necessarily. It's a little too long on Picard. It looks a little silly. Shorten that up a little bit. It'd be great. But the collar, the black stripe, I think it's a really cool look. Plus the sleeves being straight is awesome, because a lot of times there's funkiness going on with the Admiral's uniforms as far as sleeves go. So I kind of like this one for that reason. So it is number 9.
I'll be back in a minute. I apologize.
Okay. This is one that, like I said, is an alternate reality. I'm sure we'll do alternate uniforms at some point. This will probably be on it as well. But Samuel had sent, or was getting ready to send these over, and I'm like, did you include the one from Future Imperfect? And he hadn't. So I'm glad he put it in. I think this in combination with the comm badge is a really great look. I do like the difference in the comm badge for sure, and it just ties it all together. So you got the black stripe with that gold trim as well. So very nice looking, very nice looking uniform. I did like the comm badges from that faux alternate timeline. Could this Admiral's uniform be a dress uniform? Distinct possibility, considering he was on a Romulan ship and could have been like a delegation thing maybe, but he wears it through the whole time, so I don't know. It's just a really good look. I think it looks fantastic. I kind of wish, well, having said that, maybe I don't. I was gonna say I kind of wish the collar was all black, but I think it's actually good the way it is. Like I said, those sleeves, just the fact that those are straight across bars instead of the stupid angled up ones that you see on a lot of Admiral's uniforms is a big thing. So yeah, Tanushi, I get what you're saying about the dignitary thing, but probably better with the Voyager comm badge. This will look great with the Voyager comm badge, Ryan. And it does look like a dress uniform, absolutely. So it works as a dress uniform too. Yeah, absolutely. Just a standard TNG dress uniform. Thoroughly agree. Hold on, I need a drink. Some shoulder rank pads would suit this uniform very well, I think. Yeah, I mean, you could incorporate something there that would be subtle, either on top of the shoulder or down here. But I kind of like the simplicity of this one, so. The red stripes had the rank insignias, right? No, they didn't. Tanushi, no, the rank insignia was on the comm badge. It had the four stripes for captain, 4 for admiral, but they're gold, and then the captain ones are gold. The admiral one had gold with silver on top, and then a star in the middle, well, kind of offset in the delta. How would TOS wrist braids look instead of the black? I think they'll look great, actually. I think that'll be good choice. It's made with Muppet fur. Yeah, well, Tanushi, we might get to that one at some point. Who knows?
Hello.
Is there a uniform where the rake pips are on the sleeve? Not in TNG time, no. Hello, welcome back.
Yeah, it's a good uniform. I don't remember where it is on my list, if it even is. So I'm like, do I like it or not? I can't remember. We'll find out where it's on my list. But it was definitely a creative retake. It is definitely us, you cheating, or if I use it as well, us cheating, because it's a complete fiction. But it does look good.
And most people have been pointing out that it looks like a dress uniform for an admiral, which it could be because he was a dignitary on a Romulan ship. But just this as a standard dress uniform for TNG, I think would have been great. I like the look.
Yeah, I mean, the dress uniform in TNG is wishy-washy looking. Why is it down to your knees? I know. I guess probably. I'm sure it's linking to real military, but it doesn't look good on anybody. Doesn't service them.
From here up, it does. With the stripe, I mean, it looks good.
I mean, that's but that's not how you. That's a very small subset of it. But I mean, yeah, admirals are dressy. I can imagine. But this would be fun just to certainly see as a two-piece. Kind of redesign it very slightly to give it more of that standard duty, or even give it a belt like the later uniforms. Bring it in a little bit.
The longer tunic with the belt would be good, and I think that's what they do with a lot of admirals uniforms. They add like a belt or something because they do have the longer tunics generally as the admirals.
Well, I mean, I would bring that right up and make it not. Well, it'd be standard because this is very long. I'd give it standard length with a belt.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I like it. It's a lot of attention to detail for this episode. And this is a whole brand new uniform that looks cool. So
yeah, Sean though, what's in $5? I like this, subtle but elegant. BJ Turan, $10. I really like TNG's Admiral Elena Nechev's uniform, also used by males like Admiral Admiral Thomas in Drumhead. Simple and classic. Be a good service dress uniform for all Starfleet officers.
But speaking of simple dress uniform for all officers, my number 8 is this one as well. Well, that's good. That's good. So do you guys talk about it? That was great. It's attention to detail in all ways. I do agree. If it had a black collar, you have to see it to know it. But I think the balance here is pretty solid.
I actually said that when you were gone.
I know. So I'm responding to it. Yeah. Oh. But I think that the fact that it's flipped color-wise is the point, and it feels more powerful in that way. But just the fact the fabric is such a good fabric and the red's so red, that served. They picked good stuff when doing the costume design. If it was a plain red or if it was a TOS red, it wouldn't look as crisp as this. It was well thought out, is what I'm trying to say. Good job then.
Cool.
All right, well, there you go. Easy number 8.
My number 8 is the 2385 Admiral's uniform from Picard. Did you hear that? Because it looks like you froze there. I don't know if I got cut off. Okay, good. Yeah, so the Picard one. The reason this isn't higher is because I'm not a fan of the red stripes going down. I wish those were gone. And I'm also not a fan of the sleeves with the way that those are angled. I think that looks silly. But other than that, it's a pretty good looking uniform. So yeah, it's only number 8 for me. I think a lot of people probably would have thought I would have placed it a little bit higher, but surprise.
I don't know if we would even guess, Stuart. This is...
I mean, you should.
Ah, thanks, Hajiroko. But this is the only uniform, for the most part, that we've seen in person and have a cool picture with together. We've seen a couple, but it's a big one that stands out. And as you know, this one is certainly... Well, my other dress normal uniform has certainly evolved with my appreciation of it. If I'd love to re-see my first reaction, which I can do on Trekyards. Go check out now our first reaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly remove the 2 lines. I mean, I understand it, and if they were going to do that, I would have had them be more distinct. Just take those out, and it's absolutely ample, you know.
Yeah.
And we didn't include the new Picard variant because we don't know much about it yet. Let's wait for it, you know. But yeah, I like it. It's a reinvention of the wheel without reinventing the wheel, which is a good way of doing Star Trek. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We should see what your later ones are then. Line number 7 is the Lower Decks one, which I may have put higher on my list, as in close to 1, but then as you'd said, is just the Lower Decks one tweaked, and I sort of was looking at the whole thing. Once you said that, I'm like, yeah, remove 2 elements and it's just a Lower Decks uniform, which makes it less creative than it should be, and then you wouldn't have to add much extra to this to kind of fit in. That said, it stands out amply enough extra in the scenes it's in. Looks really smart on the 3PO I think we see it in, and it, it's what it is, and it's them understanding what you need for Admiral uniform. It's a case in point example of that's what it would be. It's not literally isn't reinventing the wheel in any way, and it does not get creativity points, but it gets track points. So
yeah,
good for
the
them.
one thing I wish they would have done though is that red stripe that goes across down. It would be cool if that was gold instead. It would have tied in with like the Wrath of Khan style and one of the TNG ones as well. It would have had that lineage.
It just needed more gold. I'll be honest. Or just cuffs, just to wrap around 2 gold rim. That's would have just amped up a little bit extra. So yes, it's not perfect by any means, but it's damn damn good for what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my number 10, so there you go. My number 8, though.
Your number 7? Which one's it? Yes, 8.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not right. Hold on.
Yeah, I was on 7. Yeah, you have 2 8s.
Okay. I got 2 8s, god damn it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Which I did as well with my number 7.
I know, but I didn't fix it.
You didn't fix it. I fixed mine.
Okay, well, let's lump this one together with my last one. So this will be my number 8.2. We'll just talk about it real quick. This is one of the TNG ones that's a standout because of the weird stripe, but it's unique enough that it looks good. I like this one because at a glance, there's an admiral coming down the hallway. I don't know why they did some of the choices they did. The gold stripe all the way down the arm with the split sleeve is quite unique. The front black thing is a little bit put offish, and it has no collar. I think a collar for an admiral is needed, but they were going with the season 1 look there, so it is what it is. So that's my other 8. Now we'll go into my 7. Number 7 is 2372 Admiral's uniform. This is a more official looking uniform than the last one, obviously. The one I just talked about. I like the gold stripe down the front. It has more of a jacket vibe to it, but it feels very official looking. And also the cuffs. the black bar or the black band with the gold trim, I think looks fantastic on this one. So there you go. Talked a lot, but this is a Voyager one. Is that right?
No, well, this is just one of the. This is the last sort of TNG one we see, which then is used in Voyager and DS9 until they swap uniforms. This is the last one. So this is the one that we see during Homefront when Sisko goes back, and then we see it in Voyager. So it's just, this is the last TNG one, standard one. This is where they end up with, which is why when we get to the first contact variant, it's this and a belt. So this is the final one, which is therefore the standard if you want to go by the definitional.
Yeah. Well, the gold stripe around the top of the collar and down, I think, is a nice touch. So
and it stays. That is a standard for a while. Okay, so what number should I say next?
I don't know. We were on 7, right?
So my number 6, after your 2,
there you go.
7, 2, 8. My number 6 is, and you blew right past, is Jameson's Admiral's uniform, 2364.
There you go.
It's super showy, it feels like. I mean, it's like a patchwork of look at me, I'm not the standard uniform. It feels very dissimilar, even though it's not that dissimilar, but it really is. Having that, triangle stripe pulls your eye. The gold is very there, but it has a real charm. It gives me kind of Elvis vibes, like he might wear this. Just that bit of extra flair,
Yeah.
And I got to imagine that with the amount of Admirals uniforms we see, there must be like subdivisions of Admirals where, Jameson, I don't know why, maybe he just wants to pick the fancy version for special occasions or whatever. But it has a unique flair. It's more original than a lot of the other ones we've had in my previous list. It doesn't quite come together as a professional feeling uniform. This feels more fan-made because it feels kind of all over. Hard to say what you would change or tweak. Probably just some elements just to bring it back a bit. But obviously if you change too much, it removes the uniqueness. So it's a episodic variation, as you'd call it, which has a real character to it. And obviously, he wore it the entire episode, and he's in it the entire episode, so you got a real good sense of it because it was in a lot of episode. But yeah, I like it.
Yeah, the one thing that always bothered me about this one, honestly, is the gold stripe is missing from the lower side of that black thing that goes down. It just feels unfinished and weird. I wish there was a gold stripe on each side. That might have been too showy considering all the other gold striping that's on it. And the fact that it goes up and over the black around the collar and kind of cuts off the other. I don't know. There's something weird going on there that needs a little bit of redesign, but it is very unique and stands out. So that's why it was my 8.5. I don't know.
But Marcus says if they got rid of the triangle stripe and the black at the waist, it would look so good. But then it would just be dull. Like, it's that fine balance. Obviously, you could then take those elements and tweak them slightly further back into something interesting. But, John says, I always thought this was a retro old uniform they had put on once he got a younger because it was something he was comfortable with from his past. Well, he wears it when he enters the ship, and he's still a serving admiral, so there's no reason why he would be wearing an older version onto the ship. And it certainly feels like a TNG variant. It doesn't feel like a... I mean, there's a little bit of Rathacon to it, but doesn't necessarily say too much. I mean, it's good. It's fun. I wouldn't wear it necessarily, but some guys could carry it off, and good for them.
Yeah. Tanushi puts in €5.
Thank you.
I'd like to think the fake uniform fits between TOS movies and TNG, with the body red staying red and the shoulders and stripes changing color. Sean Corpier puts in $5. Getting rid of the boots would give this more gravitas. Boots look silly.
I think maybe it's the Lodex one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yes, yeah, the boots are an odd choice.
They look like Uggs. Sean, another $5 without the badge. This is a Flash costume. Into a lightning bolt, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But hey, it's creative and it's fun.
It is one of those things. All right, so I guess we're on to my number 6 now. Because you were on your number 6. Okay, we've got things lined up now again.
Okay. Whew.
Shut up.
You know how at the
I don't
start,
even
Stu,
know
I
how
said
that happened.
all you have to do is count to 10.
I know, and I screwed it up.
And you
That's
screwed
what I'm
that
saying.
up.
I was saying I didn't do it right from the beginning, and then you were like, "Oh no, you did, you did."
You could do something right. Turns out you can't. Like your number 1, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
Go for it.
All right. So my number 6 is the 2358 Admiral's uniform, which is this one. Again, wish it had a collar, but other than that, considering where it fits, it's great. I like the gold stripe along the bottom of the black, even the placement of the Admiral's bars, and then the very reminiscent of the Wrath of Khan style going down the side like that. Very great look. I think it's very crisp and clean, and it just looks fantastic. The gold striping again on the bottom of the pants as well, and again the cuff being straight across as it should be, not pointed up like some wing, but the black and gold on the wrist looks really fantastic as well. So the only thing that this one is lacking is a collar, in my opinion, but they weren't doing collars at the time. So anyway, so yeah, that's that one. It has that Wrath of Khan feel to it, which I think I really like. So that's why it's better than the last one with the straight down the middle gold.
So this one's an interesting one, and I'm glad I picked this up, and I'm glad they included a picture of it in the fact file. So this is a weird one. This was designed for one episode of Voyager, and this was Captain Janeway's dead father's Admiral's uniform when he died. And it's a unique one, and because of we know when he died, it's actually the earliest Admiral between Wrath of Khan and TNG, which is confusing. So this is, but it was actually after the Stargazer he died. So this was still very much no collar. That's the TNG season 1 uniform. So this is very much potentially the standard Admiral's uniform of that era. And because obviously they invented it for Voyager, they'd already had the established present day Admiral's uniform. So this clearly is a balanced, well, we know what we've done now, let's make it older now rather than something weird. So it's that kind of odd hybrid, retroactive one. Now
the thing is, was her dad in the flashback or the image, whatever, was he wearing a Voyager comm badge?
Yes.
Because that's dumb.
Well, the thing is, though, it wasn't actually her dad. It was a alien recreation of her dad. And I think Michael Okuda, actually, I believe in an interview, because I obviously did research about this, apologized. He's like, yeah, we probably should have swapped comm badges. Are bad.
No one will notice, though. It's fine.
Yeah, well, I think it was an easy... I think the person on set just every single... they've never held that comm badge before. Why would they put on this, that isn't the comm badge everyone wears? So I think it was a simple mistake.
Gotcha.
But that would have been, nice. So, it's a fun... it's simple. Certainly links to Wrath of Khan, like you said. And it'd be fun to know where and when it started. I mean, if I had unlimited fan film bucks, maybe I would, Wrath of Khan, have this be the new Admiral's uniform that comes in, and was like, although not really, because it's so similar to the Wrath of Khan uniform, like, it's not that different if you break it down, really. It's even got the shoulder, it's got the arm. The only thing different is just the shoulders, and it's actually very, very similar to the, I'm sure if you compare the Enterprise C variant to this, it'd be almost identical, actually. So it's very clever. Simply clever. Cleverly simple.
Nice look, though.
Yes. Cool. Nice. My number 5, middle of my road, is the standard TNG, DS9 version, which is the one we see from everyone at some point in TNG, into Voyager, into DS9 of the standard of that era. Because it just looks neat, it looks smart, it looks balanced. It's not too high. The red piping isn't too distracting. It's just kind of there, but you understand the regalness of it. The cut is different than the normal TNG, the way it slopes in, so it feels a little bit different. And the collar's nice. It's just a clean and simple. Good job, guys, Admirals. That you couldn't confuse it with the TNG one or the Voyager one, and this carried on as the Admirals one into the Voyager uniform. So as those shifted between shoulders and torso colours, either way, this stands out as being a different uniform, quite different, even though being so similar. And that's a great way of having that sense of power and control while still just being part of your team. So I think this was a very good. They got there like nine uniforms in. I think they got there.
Yeah, the simplicity of it's really nice. It's unique enough and it stands out enough, but it's also very subtle. And it's not like the gaudy one with the big black stripe pointing diagonally. So it's actually a nice mix of of subtlety and yet standoutishness, gaudiness, I guess. I don't know. It's a good Admiral's uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I've already said it though, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice.
All right, I guess we're on my number 5.
But guys, what do you think of our list so far? As we are on to the midway, have we said your favourite uniform? Have we not said your uniform? Are we going to insult you by not saying your favourite uniform by the time we get to the end?
Probably.
Okay.
So let us know in the chat, guys. By the way, we have 93 likes with 111 people here. We can get 7 more likes.
Fantastic.
100 would be great. And yeah, you guys are doing really great with super chats, so just keep them coming and let us know your thoughts on these things.
We want to talk to you guys.
All right, so my number 5 is the 2368 Admiral's uniform. This is the one that I think looks the sharpest out of the TNG ones. I do like the point. It's a little bit unnecessary, but I think it works well. The gold trim looks fantastic. It has a collar, which is another big deal for me. And again, it's got the rank stripes on the sleeve, which is a nice hold carryover from the TOS. This one is just quite unique. It almost feels like they're wearing an undershirt with like a very low cut V-neck up front or on top of it, but I like the way this looks. It has that presence that I think an Admiral should demand. And it's different enough, and yet it's the same to the standard uniform. So, yeah, I don't have much else to say about it. One of the best things about it for me is the striping on the arms. I think that's a great idea because it doesn't have any other rank pips as far as I'm aware of. So, yeah, there you go. Simple.
Yeah, this is the early TNG. We want to keep this design for a while version.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it's on my list or not, so I'll might go back to it when we get there. It's just like I don't know. I don't know, but I do like it. I mean, the fact is those colours, just the TNG colours, by themselves work so well as a uniform. And the fact that none of these uniforms are bad. Like even I think out of the 15, none of them actually stand out as being like that's bad. They've all got a certain charm, a certain vibe, a certain life to them, and that's kind of impressive.
I disagree. One of them is very bad.
Oh, well, hey.
Maybe we'll talk about that at the end.
Talk about that at the end. Goodness, I like it. That's a hell of a thing. But it's interesting since we've seen other uniforms that I don't believe had striped arms. It's odd to go back to. Yeah, it's weird. It needs the neck. It needs the neck pips. It needs those neck pips.
Yeah, I could see that, but the neck pips and the stripes would be okay.
Yeah, fine.
So. Just wish the stripes weren't just gold on black, though. I wish they had like a thicker black bar and then the gold on top a little bit thinner, so you could see the black and gold. I think that would look a lot more impressive.
Yep. Well, and it continues the art design. I mean, you've got that for the top. Carry it over. Yeah, 100%. Yep. I buy that. My number 4 is the Discovery Season 3 Admirals uniform. And the fact that it's not on your list yet gives me hope this might be high up on your list, because we like this uniform going into Season 3. And it does help a little bit that Admiral Vance... Admiral Vance? No, what's his name?
Admiral Vance.
Hey, was so good. Clothes maketh the man maketh the clothes, and he was a standout character by itself. But and also, like TMP, best uniform of the season makes everything else look shitty in comparison because this is so good. That's obviously a contrast thing, but it's crisp, it's clean. He looks great in it. Yes, the neck things are a little bit over the top, but they've all got problems around that. But it's just really classy and crisp. It has a very much Star Trek 2 vibe of militaristic, but the opposite kind of way, with being a one colour with the striping. And it's just, as I've said previously many times, how do you design the future? And while not necessarily futuristic in the abstract sense, it fits the buzz being so different yet the same. Yeah, I like it, and I would be happy to have one of these uniforms. Although I wouldn't be an Admiral, which makes it tricky to justify why I've got this version while not being an Admiral. But yeah, I like it. It's unique, and it's got way more character than the Kirk one for me, which is why arguably they're both very similar in lack of personality. But I think this one has a lot more personality, and he also looks really good at it. So yeah, so Discovery gets 4 on my list.
Yeah. So since you pointed out all the good things about it, let me talk about some of the bad things about it. Not a fan of the boots. Honestly, it's a little bit too. Let's go play in the mud. Also, the construction of it. It does have a Bajoran type feel to it, and the fact that the collar doesn't have an opening at the front kind of bugs me a bit. And yes, those are kind of gaudy, those rank things. Other than that, I wish that the red striping that went down didn't do that little subtle curve that it has going into under the arms. I wish it was more straight down that way. I don't like the little subtle curve like that. I wish it was just straight. So there you go. But it's got opulence, so that's cool. Those look good on this one. But it feels very dictatorship, though.
I mean,
with the gray color,
it just feels like a Star Trek 2 meets Star Trek 1 crisp, clean vibe, but with more personality. Again, Admiral Vance helps, but I quite like the organic.
Yes, he's sold that for sure.
No, I like it. It's I hope they don't lose it I hope it's not replaced by the bright red version for season 4. Like keep Starfleet Command having the grey ones, guys, please. They were good. Which is weird because they're so dull, but they're not. They work.
Yeah.
And hey, Discovery, you got 4th. One of the very few times Discovery's going to get top 5, probably. But you did it, and I'm unashamed to say you got top 4. Well done, Discovery. Season 3, guys. Good job.
All right, so we're on my number 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
And we hit 100 likes. That's awesome, guys. But if you keep hitting the like button, I think we can get to 120. That's another 19 likes. Look at that. So.
And $50 more. I'll say it now, at least 50. It's good.
Yeah, 50 would be fantastic.
Yes, please.
All right, so my number 4 is the 2260 Admiral's uniform from the Kelvin universe. So you've got a Discovery at number 4. I got a Kelvin at number 4.
Where's our guns? We've gone crazy. Wow.
This one has a unique. Well, not a unique. It actually ties into the one from the motion picture with the color scheme, the way it's laid out, and I kind of like that. Again, it's very militaristic. So both our number 4s are very militaristic looking. This one's a little bit more. With the way the white goes up on the shoulders like that, it feels less Earth dictatorshipy and more like space dictatorshipy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, the lightness helps a lot, but the lack of colour makes it feel too much TMP locked in the monotoneness. The other one at least has more
some red and stuff.
Yeah. But they're actually quite similar, which is not necessarily a good thing, but... Yeah.
Again, I like the high collar, but this is more like a turtleneck. It's almost too much, and it doesn't have the cutout at the front again, which, but it looks good on somebody. This is not on somebody, as you see it here, so you can't really get a feel for it. I went and looked at it from the movie, and it looks a lot better on somebody, I gotta say.
Tailoring. This is why you tailor costumes.
Yeah. I also like the, again, the striping and the rank on the sleeves. Looks great. But yeah, I like the tie-in that it did with the motion picture. because I really like the motion picture one.
Which doesn't really make
And
any sense because this is pre-TOS.
it's too early for sure. Yeah, this is like what
It stands out
11 years earlier. Motion picture was
Well,
2271.
I mean, you say that, but Kirk was in the academy, so Kirk's academy to being an admiral.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
more than 11 years, whatever you said. Would be 30 odd years.
So I mean, this is a really shitty picture of it, but it's actually
I'm sorry, I tried to get the whole thing, okay?
No, I wasn't blaming you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Honestly, your number 4 as well, the Admiral Vance one, is also a shitty picture of it compared to the other ones we've been looking at.
Well, they're fan made, and this is just a picture of the as it was being sold. But I mean, because I can get close-ups really easily, but I was trying to actually capture more of it, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why it's my number 4.
So is it more because it links to TMP, like a one of the more faithful parts? Like we'd said several times this live already, best part of the costume design of that, especially in the Darkness, where they have those really abrasive deltas on the uniform that look awful, just ugly for the main uniforms. This in contrast looks really good. Or do you think it's more just where it features in the JJ stuff?
As far as the JJ stuff goes, it's one of the best things. Let's put it that way.
And it's on Pike, and he's off Pike, and he's one of the top things as well.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly yes. And it's also the evocation of, like I said, Admiral Kirk's uniform from the motion picture. Like as soon as you see it, you subconsciously think that, regardless, just because of the color scheme and the way it's like.
I'll be honest, that's never occurred to me.
Subconsciously,
subconsciously, yeah, because I never just put that because it's pre-TOS. It shouldn't, but yes, you're right. Yeah, I mean it's fine. Like it looks like a crisp naval uniform. There isn't anything to recommend it for me. It just looks like a crisp naval. I know I'm missing the badge, which doesn't help. I'm missing the hat.
The hat, no. See, the hat has to go. That's some bullshit right there.
This looks like a Navy uniform. Like same with my one. Mine doesn't necessarily look like Trek, but at least it has a few more of the modernistic vibes. And the turtleneck, Ratha Khan turtleneck is odd.
Yeah, but it looks better on somebody. That's the thing.
Hey, we both have controversial number 4s. That's impressive. Once again,
yes, both alternate realities.
Yes,
and both shitty pictures of said realities uniform. Anyway,
all right, bronzes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Guys, what do you think about it so far? Are you enjoying this live so far? Tell us right now in the chat. Let's have a quick comment spike. Are you enjoying this live? Yes or no?
Yes, you enjoyed the live, yes or no? But Alex MJ1 says, actually, in the movie, Admiral Pike has a badge. It's just missing here. Yes, we're fully aware.
Yeah, I just wanted that this is a good full body.
Yeah. Do the hat. No, the hat has to go. That's some bullshit. So just let us know in the chat, yes or no, whether you're enjoying this kind of live, these kind of discussions. Have you thought about all these uniforms? Are we showing you things that you might have forgot about? Because I forgot about some of these.
And it's nice to be able to look at alternate universes this time. Not that there wasn't enough without alternate universes, but there's such a unique pantheon of designs. It was kind of nice to include a bit of everything.
So we got a sure, a yes, absolutely love it, a yes, a sure, a 2.
2 out of 10 all. And Sergeant Rogue also asks, not his actual question, but I'm going to take his question as, which uniform do we look best in? Which do we think would look best in, Stuart? Admiral's uniform.
I would look best in the Wrath of Khan.
Okay.
Because I think so.
Because
my complexion, that color would just make me
a bit of a cop out. That's just a standard uniform. Take that out of the equation, though. Actual custom Admiral uniform would look best.
Oh,
that's just a cop out. Because there's such a choice.
I like the one from Future Imperfect, probably. Or my number 5, the 2368 one with the V thing. I don't know.
I'd probably look best in the... I don't know.
Now I want to say the Picard one.
Yeah, because the Picard one's pretty sharp. Literally and figuratively and...
Yeah, I don't like the angles of the colors down the sleeves. It's too much. Bring it back up here a bit.
Well, that's the second version, Stuart. They did that. They did that for the
I
second.
know, I know. They're smart. They figured it out. But
They made things go.
There's subtle little things that I hate about uniforms that just bug me. And I tell somebody, and they're like, "So, I don't understand what you're saying." I don't really care. There's things about it that bug me, like the little curve on Admiral Vance's. Just make it a goddamn straight line.
But that would make it look too militaristic. That little subtle, gentle curve elevates it.
The subtle, gentle curve makes it pansy Bajoran look. Stop it.
Well,
also the new badge being oval doesn't.
I know. I know. Well, that I can't argue the badge. The badge we know we have problems with. In fact, I should get a custom badge made with a proper paint scheme to see how it looks for proper, etc., etc.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying. Thank you so much for turning up.
Thanks, Alex MG1. Yeah, the fact that we don't do politics, we don't go super dark, super positive. You know, if you throw us anything, it can be good or bad. Friends with all, and CBS likes us for the most part.
For the most part.
Well, I can't speak to specifics, just for the most part, you know. It's all good stuff. All right, bronze. Let's find out what I said. Captain Picard, Admiral Picard's uniform for Star Trek Picard. Go on, number 3. So Picard got 3 and Discovery got number 4. That is shocking, guys. Surely.
My Picard had 8. And shared the slot with the other one. So yeah.
So this one is odd because it's, again, I'm biased now. I like the standard uniform a lot, so that obviously helps the vibe. It's flashy, but not too flashy. It's different, yet familiar. He looks good in it, which helps. Digitally aging helps as well. It's one of the more faithful things he did in the entire show, which helps. The badge and the pips, very classic. I quite like the arm thing, the hand things it's growing me constantly. And it's just it looks smart. I do think, yes, without those blades, the bonus blades, it would look better, and potentially the Picard season 2 one could be the best it's ever been. But it's it's more cohesive than a lot of the other ones. Hence, partially why it's higher on the list. It's both unique and cohesive, part of the canon, and yet going its own way. You know, and I applaud them for this sort of interesting, simple, different thing. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Alex MJ1, honestly, without those sleeves, it would look awesome. Yeah, the sleeves are just so off-putting to me too.
They
were talking about. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
we were talking about badges, and here's the Trekyards version of the Discovery badge. Check that shit out. You know you like it. It's better, isn't it? Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. The angles on the shoulder stuff and the sleeves just bug me. And yeah, those red stripes going down, unnecessary. If they tied into maybe and they went to the pants, it might look. That'd be too much. But hey, I'm trying to come up with some ideas here. I do like it, but I like the one from season 2 so far better from what we've seen. So, I'm not dissing your number 3, man. I'm just saying.
It just works for me. It's not perfect, but it's just creative. Because it's more a case of you rate them, what do you think is more cool than the other ones? And this is more cool than a lot of the other ones, you know? I mean, all of these could be improved in very simple ways.
Yes.
But this is ranking them as a gut reaction of, yeah, you know what? Yeah. I like that one. All right, your bronze then, Stuart. Your bronze.
My bronze, my number 3 is 2375 Admiral's uniforms. So the black and gray. Very formal looking, very nice. The addition of the belt, great touch. And also the red on the sleeves, they're not at a stupid angle. They're actually horizontal like they should be. So it's fine. It's just a nice looking uniform overall and very crisp, clean, to the point. Doesn't mince words. It's just a little bit of a variant on the regular uniform, and that's a nice subtle touch. So there you go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, certainly having the belt buckle be actually a belt buckle of a Federation symbol with all these. That's a nice statement of intent. And I remember, I think I'm pretty sure Doug Drex actually sketched like 5 belt buckles and they picked one, and this was the one they picked. So some were like just deltas and some were weird things, and it's quite, I mean, it's an elaborate belt buckle. It's a bit of extra flair, and the fact that there was only one Admiral's uniform for all of, DS9 season 5 into Voyager season 7. Yeah, they liked it and they kept on with it.
They liked it so much they put a ring on it. 2, 1 on each sleeve. If you like it, then you can put a ring on it. And around the waist. Just saying.
Comedy.
We have it in abundance here.
Just not today. But not today.
But not today.
Cool. My number 2 is also this uniform.
You're silver. Ah, cool.
So, yes, because as you said, it's a very faithful. It's the beyond logical. It's the okay. We've now created a format. Let's pull the format from TNG on a First Contact, and they said okay. They made it. They presented it. They liked it. Move on. It's the epitome of logical. I do think probably the armbands are a bit thick. They don't stand out obviously in the scenes, but they're like they don't serve any purpose. It looks like there's no rank pips. They're just kind of there. Don't think it looks too good. They could be thinner, but you don't notice them. When looking at the scenes. Possibly it is a little bit too. I'm thinking in terms of like close-ups. When you think of insurrection, you don't think about the long shots. Think about Dougherty, just close-ups. Even Janeway and Endgame. All you've then really got is the fact that there's a distinct split in the uniform. That's all that's there that's different. So possibly that's too simple. It could have done with more gold. I mean, it has no gold according to this picture. So it's kind of odd, but that whole era is about being militaristically simple with a bit of texture, and gold could be a bit too fancy. But it is a super logical extension of what it was. The belt is a great touch, and it feels expensive, just like the other ones do in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So with the thick armbands, though, would you prefer that maybe have like a black stripe down the middle of that, so it's just like 2 thinner red ones, maybe with even the rank in the black part? That'd be kind of neat. Well,
then you're just linking it more to having the multiple stripes with the TOS style, which I don't think would add too much.
No.
I just would remove that and add gold piping, to be honest.
Okay.
Because you don't normally have rank pips on the sides, on the arms, for these versions anyway. Maybe I'd make the middle cutout a bit thicker, a bit more distinct, because this is obviously, they just took a pattern of a normal First Contact of the 2-piece and then added some different ribbing. I would probably make it a bit more custom, a bit more of an indent.
I would also make that grey piping a gold.
Yeah.
Up around the neck and along the black and grey divide.
Yeah. So. It does just kind of work, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right, guys, now we are at our platinum. Because they're admirals, they need to fancy a rank. What do you guys think our number 1 is? Each of ours.
I haven't done my number 2 yet.
Stuart, what's your number 2? And then I'll say the exact same thing again in a minute.
My number 2, my silver or gray, depending on what you're talking about, is 2271 Admiral's uniform. So Admiral Kirk from the motion picture. Really like this one. If I had a good enough physique, I would love to have one. However, with the double decker thing going, so it wouldn't look very good. But this picture in particular looks fantastic, and it looks great on Shatner. So if all the uniforms had been two-tone like this, I think we wouldn't be complaining so much about the pajamas in the motion picture, because this, with the way that even the top is cut, it feels more like a uniform, and it should. So this is a standout from that movie particularly, but I also really like the look of this thing, so that's why it's my number 2. It's a silver place medal.
And it beats all of the other uniforms for the pajamas.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Different strokes for different folks, my friend.
I mean, I think it just symbolises that you watched TMP as a kid and it imprinted on you, which is fine.
Maybe.
Just, you know, that was your jam, your strawberry jam.
But I'm not sure I would wear this, because I don't think I'd look good in it. I would pick one of the TNG ones over this one probably any day. But as far as, I guess, my memory or just what I like, it's up there. So
Does he not wear this? He doesn't wear this in the entire film, does he?
nope, he wears this one in the travel pod over to the ship, I think, and then later he goes to the short sleeve one.
Yeah. When she takes captain, he takes captain and like, oh, bye.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably should have been in the uniform the entire time. I think it would have benefited the movie.
Yeah. So now we're on your whole platinum speech.
So guys, platinum admirals, they can't have just gold, they're platinum. What do you guys think our number ones are going to be? Vote now. Forever hold your peace of gold platinum. In the chat right now, what do you think my number one's going to be? That's just number one's going to be. I think we all thought this was going to be his number one. So, because I certainly did. So we'll see what his actual number one is.
You thought this was going to be my number 1?
Well, yeah, you have no... What is your number 2? How can you say that was surprise? It's your number 2. You can't say that. There you go, surprise. Well, you talked about this one for years, so I assume this will be your number 1 because it's, you know, it's your jam. I'm sure if there's a TOS Admirals, which there isn't.
My jammies.
I'm sure if there's a TOS Admirals, that would be your favourite. There isn't a TOS Admiral though. There's Commodore, which is a different braid. It's not very creative, and a different, you know, patch. But it would have been nice to have a TOS. I know they've got the Starfleet New Voyagers invented the Wrath of Khan Hybrid Admirals one, which is nice. I even met the actor. What do you think, guys? Who will be our number 1?
We got Wrath of Khan, duh. Yours will be the Dominion War version.
Already had that.
Enterprise. Apparently, fantastic choice. Only downside is that it's something the dentist would wear. I mean, yes. Shut up.
I mean, you know, of the few things, this feels like the 80s. You know, it feels like the clinical sci-fi 2001. It feels exactly the year it was made. It doesn't feel anything around that. Just feels like, oh look, 2001. That's popular. It's like, okay.
It also feels like Space 1999.
Yes.
Now that I think of it.
Yeah, movie version. But also shows that everyone else looked a bit shit. Just by having a thing that goes like this in the fabric makes you look thin. Just doing that. You cheeky effers.
Not that, but it's also the cut of the top at the bottom there, because most the other uniforms don't have that.
Well, but I mean, the optical illusion factor is such a big part of it. You're right, it's like more cut, but it's remarkable.
Yeah. Got some Khan, Wrath of Khan continues. Jericho says the Wrath of Khan is too similar to the main uniform, so I guess it's out of the running.
Mm-hmm.
Enterprise show had more than one.
Which I didn't include in the notes, so you could do anything. I'm assuming I might say Admiral Vance because I know you quite like that. Who knows? Who knows? There's so few left. Maybe like Admirals Forrester. Because there's actually 2 TMPs as well. So maybe we'll throw a real curveball and be like...
Short sleeve version is number 1, maybe.
Because you're a glutton for punishment. Guys, last chance.
Don't forget, last Super Chat slot's there. Right now, Sean Corpier has it. And as we said earlier, $50 in Super Chats would be great. Haven't got any since then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have 127 likes and 119 of you here. So I think we can probably get to 100 and, let's say 140 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't already, if you're new here.
Say hi.
Super Chat. Let us know your thoughts on which one's your favorite. If there's missed.
No, please.
Yes, we have other ones on the list. And I do want to, after we talk about the best one, I want to talk about the worst one for a minute.
Right.
So, yeah.
Goodness. Yeah. Top worst 10. Should be just the same order, just reversed, and then add 5 more. Which I appreciate. We've had different lists. That's kind of why I like having as many of these as possible, because they are going to be different lists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you have no taste, and I have no taste. So
yeah, there we go. Although given the slight incorrect numbering of Stuart's thing, in fact his lower decks did not make his top 10 based on actually how it would have been. So that would have been his honourable mention number 1. But so slightly oopsie list, but that's okay, guys. Who's really keeping count? Not Stuart.
Shut up.
Guys, what's your number 1? We want to know.
The only reason I had 2 8s is because I haven't had any food today, so I was thinking about, I needed to eat something, and so I didn't eat anything. No, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
So you wanted a double 8.
That just crashed and burned.
Like your number 1, I'm sure. It's gonna crash.
Oh my god! What the hell, man? Oh, what the hell? I thought we had another super chat, but we didn't. So.
I thought you were gonna say I thought you said I found some food in my room. I thought you were like, oh my god, some food.
Oh, I do.
Now this is
Pop-Tarts left.
Ooh.
I always have Pop-Tarts by my desk, because I'm writing the script or something. Just want to. I don't actually toast. No.
All right, my number 1, I believe.
We're going to number 1.
Yes, my number 1 is
I don't know if anybody guessed it, but we'll see.
The TNG one with the V-neck.
Is it though? Because I never believe you. Because you always show like a curveball.
Always show. Stuart, if it was not that, it would have been Discovery, but I already did Discovery. So, where's left to go, Stuart? There's nowhere left to go with the fake ones. No, I looked, and while not the standard one, this one has more character, and the extra black does pop. It's a bit more stylish, a bit more cool looking, a bit more characterful. I just think it's a cooler looking uniform. Certainly cooler than the than the First Contact one, and less standard than the other one. And I kind of wish I was a hybrid of a lot of these. Make our own version. But I looked at it, I was like, yeah, you know what? This is stylistically, I think it's the nicest looking one.
That's why it was top of my TNG ones. Kind of went through all the TNG ones because I really liked them for the variation. But this one was like my number 5, which was still the number.
I'm assuming that they meant to put in the rank pips in the collar. I bet if I went back to the episodes, they've had them in the collar. I think so. I would be shocked if they didn't. So I'm assuming that is there. But yeah, it just pops, and it's the TNG. It's a combination of the dress uniform, which is longer, but doesn't have a silly length. It does fit both genders, as we've seen, just fine, which is nice. Has the shoulders. It works quite well. And I'm not normally a V-neck person, but it integrates quite nicely. And it feels quite connected. I'm not the biggest fan of the arm bits, but I take or leave it. It's fine. It's it's a connection to the older style. Okay. You rarely see them doing this, so you don't notice it. But compared to the normal TNG uniforms, this does pop in a way more so than the standard one. But it's side by side, and it's like, oh yeah, Admiral, boom. But not in a showy way.
And it's got a nice big arrow pointing down to the decker, and it's like, you listen to me.
Well, the decker's hidden. They have to do an arrow to point it because of the cut.
Yeah, trust me, it's there. It's bigger than yours because I'm an admiral.
That's true. I mean, have you seen my rank braids? You've got pips, I got rank braid. So yeah, I don't know. I just like it. Artistically it's nice.
Well, Sergeant Roadkill throws in £5 and says, all I got today cash-wise, my number 1 is the Odyssey Admiral uniform from Star Trek Online, but with a belt.
Yeah, I'm very torn on those ones because they're so elaborate. Like, oh my god, the details, where have they come from?
I think we might have forgotten one. What about Q's one with the really thick braid, or is that more like a dress uniform?
I mean, who's to say? I don't think it had rank pips, so I don't know.
It felt very dress uniform-y.
Yeah. So. I know I missed the Tals Admiral variant, but I don't think I was going to put that as our top 1, so I didn't feel the need to go get that brief variant version.
speaking of top one, I am
Yes.
the top one here as being captain, and we are in my top one right now, Admiral uniforms.
Dum ba
So
lum bum bum bum.
2285 Admiral's uniform from Wrath of Khan.
Wap wap.
It's got a stripe, and it's subtle. It's great, and the Admiral star cluster thing looks great, and it's Wrath of Khan, so it's perfect. So there you go. Oh, he's all annoyed now. Plus, you got the belt, which we were talking about with the DS9 uniform. Looks good. It's got the delta on it. It's very similar.
Cop out, cop out, cop out, cop out, cop out, cop out, cop out. So, just to put that into perspective, guys, 2 of our 3 uniform episodes, he picked the Wrath of Khan standard issued uniform as 2 of his top ones. Given all the unique designs, he picked the standard issue uniform with a braid.
Because it's perfect. There's nothing. It's all you need subtlety-wise to be an admiral. You don't need to be flashy and showy.
See, I didn't even include this at the start, and I was like, oh yeah, there was an Admiral's version, I'll throw it in for a joke. Neither of us going to pick it. Literally, I thought it was a joke just to be completionist. I felt like I wasted my time because it's such a non-uniform. Like, you wouldn't even know it was an Admiral unless you knew who was an Admiral, based on how...
Let's look at the comments. When you picked yours, we had somebody screaming, no! And now it's a big shock, I guess. Yeah, it's a good comment, but anyway. Somebody agrees and says, Mario says, yeah, that's cheating. But
it's not. It's just a cop. It's just, you just love the uniform so much. You have a triple decker for this uniform, and so it carries over. But
that's fine. I'm allowed to do that.
You are. It's just not much of a conversation topic. Then it's just They could at least made him have a custom belt. Like something different. It
doesn't have something different above his the white. There's like an Admiral's cluster there.
Yeah, it's a separate thing there. But I know also it's looking into the future, but the custom belt for the Nemesis one being like a Starfleet emblem, like a full-on one, that would have been kind of cool, I think. Give extra vibe. Or even like add maybe, or is this too showy, add some gold into the 2 lines of the belt. How do you think that would be? Add some gold thread into that.
Yeah, it would be unnecessary, but I can see that would be a nice little touch. It would be very subtle. I like the subtlety of this one. And yes, this one. Somebody asked if this one has the red stripes on the pants. Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. With gold. Like, ironically, the trousers stand out more because they're not just a simple. They're actually more standing out. I've seen a costumer wear them. It's like, oh my god, there's so much. It's like the dress uniforms for the First Contact. There's so much going on in that stripe because they're dressy. There you go.
Yeah. Well, Sean Corpier puts in $10 and says, "This is so right. Good pick, Cap. Thank you." But yeah. So I don't care what anybody thinks. It's my favorite, so it's on that list.
Well, he might drop when I walked off.
And he's got a book because he's an admiral. All admirals carry books to beat people over the head with.
Well, the rule book. They are there to put the rule book in their face, and such a hard uniform to try and get a good still of in the abstract. Yeah. So I was quite pleased with this one.
That's a great one. I love the hand on the belt buckle. That looks so good. But now that we've done that, do we want to talk about the one that I absolutely despise because it looks awful, even though...
Well, I want to know their number one first, and then we can jump into that.
Okay, guys, put in the chat right now what your number one is. Let us know what your favorite Admiral's uniform is from all the ones we've shown, or all the ones you can remember. Maybe there's one that we missed out on. So, by all means, put it in the chat right now. Let's get your thoughts on this because we love having these conversations with you guys and hanging out with you. So please share your thoughts. We do have 133 likes. We can get another 7 likes to get to 140 would be great. With 124 people here, that'd be awesome. Another $40 in super chats would be fantastic to end out because right now Captain Ron Phillips has the last super chat slot with a $5 super chat. Anyone see Shatner on Shark Week the other night? He's going to need a bigger belt. Oh, did Shark Week start already? Am I missing Shark Week? Son of a bitch.
I will say, I don't know how many of us are going to look that good at 90. There are a lot more 90-year-olds that look far, far worse. I mean, Nichelle Nichols is far iller at younger age. He's doing absurdly well for his age, and he's clearly still got his faculties, which is... my granddad, who is less old than Shatner, has not got his faculties in the same way that Shatner has. So, yeah. He'll be the last one to go. Mark my words. He will be.
Yeah. So we've got...
yeah, what's your favourite, guys?
Khan, the motion picture, Admiral Picard in the Future Imperfect, #1 TOS female variant, Enterprise Admiral, I really like. If I had to pick, probably this one, says Ryan. Mark is here. He throws in $5. I also have to go with the STO uniform for my favorite, the Fleet Admiral uniform, but I change all the colors to white except the gold. Love the long coat.
Interesting.
Mario says TMP is his favorite, but it should be a duty uniform. Ozzy says the Admiral uniform from Wrath of Khan. Mark says my favorite is the TNG V-neck. So there you go. Admiral Archer's uniform. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because that was a dress post-Federal... That's a confusing one. That's him...
It is, yeah.
It's a great-looking non-Starfleet uniform, but Starfleet, but he's not even an Admiral at that point. It's just... who knows? Yeah. It's cool, though.
We got another STO one. The Enterprise Admiral's uniform is pretty good. It is good as well, but didn't quite make the list for me. I
like the fact that this list of, like, if we did a top 10 uniforms we would wear, it would be totally different. You know? Like, I wouldn't wear the V-neck as a personal preference. You know? But it's just visible on the show, etc.
Captain Ron Phillips puts in $2. It was a Jaws joke, Sam. Shatner will live forever. Cool. So yeah.
Yeah. Do your call out then, Stuart. I'm eager to see what on earth you're gonna say as I try and find.
All right.
I need to obviously tell me what it is first, and I can find the image. But
the ugliest uniform.
Oh, I know.
For an admiral. Oh, you do know what it is?
I'm looking now. I'm sure.
2404 future admiral's uniform from All Good Things
and many other things.
This one, it just hangs poorly. It just does not look good. This looks more like pajamas than the motion picture one, in my opinion. It's lazy. Black stripe, disgusting. Ew. I don't know. Just so much about this I don't like. It's just so loose fitting and ugh. So there we go.
In fairness, Mulgrew looks better in the uniform. She looks darn good in the uniform.
It still doesn't look like a good uniform, though.
Well, that's a separate question. I'm just saying, like, fitted, you can say it looks loose, not if it's on a body. Same with a lot of the other ones. It's variable. I mean, it's futuristic in its own way, where it's simple yet not, and obviously clearly linked to Wrath of Khan as well. It's fine. I like the fact it's used so many times. It's the alternate future uniform. There's a lot of respect from me for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's definitely close to TMP in laziness, looking wise. Right down there.
I'm not going to goad me into anything. It's fine. Hold on just 1 second.
And just for reference, guys, we had a couple of the uniforms in the batch that we did not do. And we can talk about those briefly. We also had 1, 2, and... yeah, just 2 uniforms that we did not cover. Every other uniform we did. So 2 uniforms that we... because we obviously had different lists. So the 2 uniforms we did not cover, they did not make our list. I'm I'm shocked that Stuart didn't include one of these. The one I thought he would actually include. I was saying let's cover the two that we neither of us included. I was assuming you would be cheeky bugger and include the TMP Kirk under or variant. How come that wasn't in your top 10?
Because it feels just like a regular daily duty uniform and not a actual admiral's uniform, like for show. So
yeah,
just the fact that it's short sleeve, it's too.
He does look good in it though.
Casual, yeah, he looks great in it. Yeah.
No, agreed. Yes, I mean I also didn't. I think the uniform neither of us included was the Enterprise era Admiral's variant. How come not?
How come the Admiral's one or the
well, it's the last
Enterprise one?
Last one we didn't include, yeah.
Feels too modern military. It feels like something right out of the Air Force. I know it's supposed to. Hold on, am I back? Yeah, it feels a little too modern military. I know it's supposed to. That's the point. But I don't like the white stripes on it. If the white stripes on the sleeves were red or something else, even gold, I think I would have been more impressed with it. And I hate the fact that it's over a goddamn white button-up shirt with a fucking tie. That's just stupid. I'm sorry.
It makes sense though in the context of when it is. Well, it's like saying why does the extra one have 19 pockets like a jumpsuit? I mean, it's just as stupid as that, but it's also logical as that. That's the problem with doing a mega
makes sense.
prequel.
They're out in the field. You need that kind of shit. This just.
Well, they're in offices. Admirals don't go out in the field. There's no spaceships in this part of the timeline, so the admirals all stay on Earth with a desk. There isn't any field admirals.
I know, but I don't like it. It's as simple as that.
I do think though Forrest looks good in it. I think he actually serves it well. And I do appreciate how it is just a thin. You can see how thin it is. A tiny, thin, cheap jacket over a white button-up. And yet, it links Enterprise very well. You can see the pips of future, and you can see... Like, it's such a very... Like, I do wish it had red piping on the inner line. It would have been too TNG, though, I think, at that point. But, like, it's so... You know exactly what it's trying to be. So, well done for them for achieving that, and white being their fancy rather than gold. And gold is quite, you know, prissy and fancy. White, okay, clean, makes sense. I can buy that. Especially as, you know, you associate white and black dinner jackets with professional and whatever. So it's clear that those contrasting colours work well. So there's a logic behind it. It doesn't have that Star Trek future vibe because it's not trying to, as you said. And I can imagine this being their uniform or their dress uniform ever since they established the, you know, Esper, whatever it was called, you know, after Cochrane, and that was like 30 years before in the 2060s. It's like, yeah, it's not that far from now. I will see this. This will be around in my lifetime. Of course it would be. But there you go, guys. That's the reasons why the two that were not included were not included. There you go.
So saith the shepherd. So saith the flock. Yeah.
And Dan says, Forrest took a ship to Antarctica. We took a shuttle. I mean, a big shuttle. I mean, the context of the Starfleet then, there had a few spaceships. Yes, lots of things had spacefaring capability, but they were just transporting them from A to B. You know, there's only like a couple of actual starships. I mean, out in starships.
Yeah. This has been a good look at some Admiral's uniforms. We probably missed one or two, honestly, because there's some of them are so one-off or in the background or whatever.
I did try and do quite a lot of research and finding, for sure. Did try, and even I thought I was pretty happy with getting Janeway's.
Yeah.
Janeway's dad's one. But yeah.
And Dom Blanco puts in $5. I think it was meant to be unflattering. Mulgrew was a beast. I don't think it looks super great on her, honestly.
I mean, it was designed.
It feels lazy and cheap.
Well, it was designed for all good things, so it wasn't made for Mulgrew to look cheap. It was just the future uniform that they always used. So
yeah.
I mean, Riker the same uniform. Oh, didn't Admiral Riker actually have some gold? Let me have a look. Actually, I think he might have had a slightly different uniform.
I think he had more Admiral-like uniform.
I think he had more Admiral, yeah.
Should have been on this list.
Well, yeah, I mean, which is also an alternate future. Well, so is this. But let me go look at the Admiral Riker one and let's see how that did.
Kyle Wong, though, £5.
Thank you.
I like uniforms fitted with a collar and shoulder pads.
Kit.
Definitely helps.
Shoulder pads are a must. Ask my tailor.
And BJ Turan, $5. Enterprise really needed 2-piece trousers and jacket, service dress uniform to go with working dress, flight suit uniform. Yes, totally agree.
So unfortunately, we have a letdown, and I can see why I didn't include it. Riker's literally just wearing the TNG dress. Nothing different whatsoever. Apart from a comm badge. So, same uniform as they had. Didn't start to give them anything unique.
Cool.
There you go.
All right, well.
There we are.
There we go. Another $10 in Super Chats would be great. One more like to get to 140. Right now, BJ Turan has the last Super Chat slot, so if anybody wants to get that for $10, would be great. But this has been fun. And we still have another uniform type ones to do at some point, but we'll have to wait for those.
Yeah. So tomorrow, though, what are we doing tomorrow?
I don't know. Probably the next episode of TNG, which is a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before I know what we're doing tomorrow. Give me some time to think about it, and maybe I'll let you guys know in a timely manner what tomorrow might be about.
But probably a TNG as well. Cool.
It's a matter of time. Only time will tell. We hit our 140 mark. We went over it, which is great. Oh, we got a last Super Chat. Boom. Sniper. Alex, MG1, €2. Should an Enterprise era be gold for command? Yes, it should be. 100%.
Unless...
And it is.
Well,
Archer's gold stripes.
But it means Forrest was red.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't be against different admirals being different divisions. You have a science admiral, because if they stay on Earth the whole time, then you got, why would you put an operations admiral in charge of a science division? They wouldn't know anything. So I can imagine there'd be 3 different divisions of admirals, because you upgrade your ranks and you get admiral of, But yes, he just was a command admiral, or he's an engineering admiral, I guess.
Matt Boardman, $5.
Matt!
If you were to design your ultimate admiral's uniform, what elements would you like to see on it?
Oh, God.
Gold striping. Nothing gaudy. Straight lines. Not stupid angles everywhere.
Double-decker.
Double-decker. It has to look good on somebody like me. It's an impossible ask because look at me, but still.
I think, Matt, I think it would have to be a cross between the best elements of these other uniforms. All of the elements are here in these 15.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of putting them together and looking.
Mark puts in $5. My least favorite was the TNG Season 1 uniform.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think I was your, 8th and my 6th? Something like that? Or vice versa? Medium low.
Yeah, it's my 8.5.
Oh, yes. Yes. The dark days where the the Canadian mathematics system of education didn't quite work.
Yes.
Sean Corpier, $5.
Last Super Chat slot.
He has a last Super Chat slot.
Mm-hmm.
How would you design an Admiral uniform for Trekyards? Well, we don't really have a uniform per se, so that'd be hard to decide. So.
I feel like it'd have to be a grey neutral colour with the colours as part of the striping, because we don't have bright colours ourselves. So more.
And the only person that could wear it would be Sylvia.
Yeah.
The Admiral.
So it'd have to be a feminine cut, as the one you associate with.
And because it is her, it would be a miniskirt version.
With very high boots.
Yeah, absolutely. I love knee-high boots, but short skirt, high boots.
Now, radical idea. Okay. Admiral rank, very important. One thing that people tend to look at is where the comm badge is placed, right? And on females, it's placed in the same spot as males. So what if you had gold piping that was in a circle formation with a dot in the middle to really emphasize the space element of we're in the center of our cosmos, but on both parts of the chest, just to kind of really emphasize the fanciness of it.
I see what you're saying.
Because we want gold piping, so have two circular gold piping stripes near the combat location on both parts of the shoulder and the chest. What do you think?
I approve. I approve of this. Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, thank you everybody for watching. Sean, you have won the super chat slot. You guys are great, and we'll be back tomorrow with an episode review of TNG. Pretty sure.
Fantastic.
So until then, he's Admiral Cocking,
and he is Grand Admiral Foley.
That's great.
Yeah.